I got that boy. I already know what time it is. Hard work pay off again. What's up, everybody? If you recently been studying for CompTIA Security Plus, trust me, I get it. I recently just passed, and today I'm going to show you my tips, tricks, and things that help me pass my test. Stay tuned. All right, so these are things that work for me. First, I gave myself a time. Honestly, I've been preparing for the test since like August, since I started school, but really focused studying, it was like 2 weeks before my test. So what I did was I took long domain tests using exam compass and things like that and focus on domain by domain. Every time I had something that I didn't understand, I would go deeper into that subject. Like for instance, I didn't understand network access control list. So I made a script, a Python script that helped me understand it better because once you visualize it, you can understand it. And then I would explain things to myself, or if I didn't have nobody to explain something to, I would explain it to ChatGPT. You could train your ChatGPT by using different prompts to be able to not give you answers. So it's not really a cheating source; it's more of a tutoring source. The way I have mine set up is as a brutally honest tutor source. So it tells me if I'm tripping, it tells me if I need to lock in, and that's just what helps me. Um, Watching videos on PBQs, to be honest, really didn't too much help because none of the videos that you prepare for, or you watch to help you prepare, it's not the same as the PBQs that was on my test. One of the focus areas I would say is it is a decent amount of networking questions on there. Definitely need to know your acronyms. So those are my main tips and tricks for a test like this. Going into the test, I would say make sure you have a clear mind. You get you some good sleep because if you go into the test tired or overthinking, it's gonna make the test way more difficult. It's just you and the computer when you're in the test. And and I had around 75 questions on mine, so it's just you and the computer. Don't second guess yourself. If you have if you go back and look at the answer, if you want to change your answer, make sure you know that you picked the wrong answer at first. But don't just be over there second guessing yourself because you might trick yourself out of a right answer. As many other people have said, say your PBQs for last. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how I set up some of my notes using Notion, and I will just give you a quick preview of my network access control list script. It's not finished, but it's just something to give me a visualization so I can see how it works. And I think that everybody should do things like that with the topics that they don't understand.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on some of the material, some of my notes and things that I use to prepare for the test. One of the things I use is Exam Compass. Another thing is Josh McAdore's practice test. I think his practice exams are some of the best on the internet, especially for free. Another thing I use is ChatGPT, and then I use Notion. This is my Notion for Security Plus. So I had it set up. I had it for 12 weeks, but it was more, and I had things set up by domain. I had materials that I was using. I didn't use Jason Dion's. I did use Trihagby Labs. These are just mainly ideas. I use Masters and Exam Compass. This is just a schedule. You don't have to follow this to the T. So, for instance, some of my notes. Domain 2 notes. So, went over MDM, certain features that MDM has, that security features. I went over, because this domain is security operations and monitoring. So this is just how I did mine. I had mine kind of color coordinated too, so I can be able to find things easy. And I did that for all that. Then I had my key acronyms to remember for this domain. And then this is my color code. So red was critical, says things that's high importance. Blue is definitions. I did that. So like That's how my brain works. I can give you a snippet of my some of my chapter 1 stuff. So I did this is how it looked. So finesse that example, show what it is if you have the N at the end or the dash O at the end. Went over like log aggregations, log collection, retention, scalability, like everything that I seen. I was like, oh, I need to make a note. I would make it a note, and then sometimes I would use analogies. So for this, I use analogy of a phone call. So seeing, you dial the phone. Seeing act, the person on the other end picks up the phone, says hello. This is the response. Act, you confirm that you heard them and are ready to talk. Once the person says hello, you're down in the conversation. You're talking to listen to each other. Establish is like once y'all start the conversation, that means that it's established. So this goes when that's that. When you see established, when that's that, that's what that is correlating with. So for instance, I'm gonna show you how I use ChatGPT. You would take something like this. Well, I already have some examples. Cool. So for instance, this could be a question. Well, I'll just do it now. Let's do it the right way. So this could be a question, and this is his chapter 2. So it'd be, what is the primary function of federated identity management system and single sign-on systems? So say if you didn't know this, let's just say you click something. So the real answer is authentication using credentials from different networks or operating systems as a single identity. He gives great explanations. But say if you didn't understand this explanation, I would copy the explanation. Well, actually, I would copy the explanation. I would copy the whole page and say, can you break this down to why? And say something like that with chat. And it gives you the explanation. It tells you, it analyzes the answer choices. It tells you why it's correct. And then it tells you, if you read it, the answer question that's wrong, it tells you why they are wrong. This is a good way to use ChatGPT to help you. You could train it so it don't give you answers. I use it for coding to help me, where it doesn't give me code, but it helps me with my theory of how to find the code that I need in my head, because sometimes things get stuck. Use it for networking. I use it as many things. I don't use it to cheat or just give you the answers, because at that point you're not helping yourself, because when you're in the actual test, you're not going to be able to just get the answers. Nobody's going to be able to spit the answer out to you. It's just you and the computer. So one thing I mentioned, I said I was going to talk about my NACL script. NACL is Network Access Control List. A simple breakdown of what NACL is that it's basically access control list where when devices come on your system, they have to meet certain standards for them to be able to get to your system. It's before a firewall. So for instance, say if one of the devices does not make it, it will go into quarantine. It don't just get kicked off the system, it goes to quarantine. So now people, like maybe a SOC analyst, can look at that device, look at the rules of the device, look what's going on with the device to see why was this device not allowed on our system. And then they can decide to kick it off, or it can make notes for future reference to see if it was a hacking device trying to get on the system or things like that. So I didn't really understand it at first in my course. My course that I was taking through school wasn't that good at it. So I made a script. Basically the script is a lot of functions. It's simple, really a simple script. If you don't really know coding, it might look difficult, but really just a simple script. So I define security policies, the database, which is simulated. I have functions set up to authenticate a device, to assign VLANs. I have an AI-driven threat detection set up. And then I have I'm simulating the NACL process. So when you do it, it says something like this. So device 1 passed, device 2 failed. So it went to quarantine, the quarantine VLAN. So that is the hands-on things that I said. So like when people say make a home lab, do try-hide rooms, get hands-on with this information so you're not just reading, because you could pass the test by cramming and just reading, but it's like, okay, cool, is that really going to help you if you get into a security job and all that information is going to leave your brain if you really don't understand things on how to set up knuckles or how to make certain security scripts or how to use SIM tools. So these are just some of my tips and tricks on things that help me pass my test.
All right, so I gave y'all some tips and tricks. I showed y'all what I do. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about why I took my Security Plus. So my journey a little bit different. I kind of want to get into the cloud, so I took Security Plus. So so I can have the security foundation, because I think anything that you do, you need to have that security foundation. I feel that since I passed, it just motivated me to get more certs. So like going for a cloud search, going for Linux search, Python search, maybe higher level security search. It just gave me the confidence knowing that what I did worked. So I'm gonna leave y'all off with one more tip. I think when you on the way to your test, I think that you should listen to some video, maybe the acronym video that I told you about. Play that video over and over on the way there, so that stuff can be fresh in your mind. When you get to your whiteboard, write down some things, just jot down some things that's in your head that you think you might forget. Um, with that being said, I just want to wish everybody good luck that's on this journey. Um, thank everybody for being a part of my journey. Um, all of this is new to me. I'm trying to force myself to get out my comfort zone. I will be having more videos, more tutorials, more tips, maybe some day in the life videos. Um, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment if you're on this journey and you need help. I have my links to my Twitter and my LinkedIn and my bio. You can hit me up on there if you got any questions. Um, remember to stay strong, keep grinding, keep God first.